Guys, happy Friday. It's Daryl here. I wasn't prepared to make a video. I didn't feel like changing for my workout clothes. So, anyway, I've been seeing more about hyperpartisanship, people being hyper partisan. This is a word I haven't heard much of, but I like. I'm not going to say I like it, but it's an apt term to describe the way things are now. You look at politics these days, and it's gotten so extreme. One of the things I tend to watch old TV shows, Antenna TV, Archie Bunker, and I watch Archie Bunker religiously, and I'm amazed at when you look at stuff like that, the mindset, the political mindset back then in the mid 70s with Nixon, Republicans versus Democrats. It's absolutely amazing the similarities between right then the Archie Bunker mindset and the similarities to the Trump supporter. And I am not saying that disrespectfully. I'm not saying that to bust ass. I really do, sincerely. A lot of the same arguments about immigration. Although, of course, Archie is a fictional character. Carol O'Connor played him amazingly well. He comes off very ignorant, and I'm not trying to insult the Trump supporters, but there's got to be a comical element to Archie, so that's what it is. But anyway, and then along with Meathead, his son-in-law, you see the neoliberal side, the far left-wing side, and it's amazing to the similarities to today. I was alive then, and I remember. I don't know if I told you guys this story before. I lived at Black Rock. My father was the park ranger, the game warden. I would ride my bike. My house, the state house, was inside the park. I would make friends with all the kids, the guys my age that camped there when I was 7, 8. I would ride my bike around there when my dad was working running the park. And I would buy ice cream from the ice cream truck. And I still remember all of us kids gathered around the ice cream truck. And the guy that was selling it, he said all of us kids had to say impeach Nixon before he would sell us an ice cream. Even though my father was a Democrat, he was very upset with this that anybody trying to influence his son at such a young age with this, and he was I didn't see that ice cream man again. But anyway, back to the hyperpartisanship. I see it in comments from you guys. I just got a reply to one of my replies to a comment, and the person was saying how it's not that he hates me, but he's trying to. The reason he comes to my channel is so other people don't get fed the lies that I'm saying, and he's trying to put his side out there. And it's amazing because that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly why I do the same thing. And I see the similarities in us. And I wonder how this person and I can be so similar, but yet complete opposites. It's interesting. To me, let me just say this one last thing. I don't have an answer for it. But to me, like I've said before, it's not about Republicans really at this point with me. I agree more with Democrat and democratic socialism. As I see the rest of the way the country, the rest of the way the rest of the world is getting along just fine with these green policies and with universal health care. And how they're doing great, and we're behind them, and that's what I use as a guiding factor in how I think we're going along, how I believe that the left is a better option than the right. What I'm strongly against is Donald Trump. From the beginning, the man's him as a person. And I know a lot of people say it's not about personality, it's about, politics. It's about the economy, it's about the job he's doing. But I can't respect a man. I can't support a man that I don't respect. And I explained this to my family relative again for the dozenth time. A lot of it goes back to that time when he mocked the reporter. That was a breaking point for me. I said right then, I will never support this man. And it's not just that, but that was a breaking point for me. To be quite honest, the way he speaks, the way he spells, what I perceive as his work ethic, the amount of time he seems to spend on Twitter, the reports when he gets into work, the amount he golfs, these are all just things I have no respect for, and it's obvious that this man does not have a lot of knowledge about law, history, and geography. Looking back, I think it's a good idea to have future presidents. They should have I know a lot of people hate lawyers, but lawyers have a grasp, a good education when it comes to the Constitution. I think that's one of the, I don't know a lot about law, but I think the Constitution is one of the main documents that all law students are it's the Bible, I would imagine, more or less. So having a firm grasp of law, a law degree, and having been in the military, and having had a real job, those three things I think are fantastic prerequisites for future presidents. Having worked their way, as a teenager or in their 20s, having worked real jobs to support themselves, having spent some time in the military, and having some degree or something in the law. I think those three things. And then maybe something to do with health and empathy relating to people. But ideally, in a perfect world, those are the criteria that I would look for in future presidents. And Donald Trump has none of those. The man never held a real job. We could sit here and debate all day, but he's got no calluses on his hands. He's never done a real day's work. He doesn't know what it's like to worry about paying rent, or if he's going to make the electric bill. He doesn't know what that's like. I look back to Jimmy Carter. A lot of people busted his ass, but he worked. He was a farmer, and that's an honorable profession. I think that would make a great prerequisite for a president. All you Trump supporters, talk about supporting the military and supporting farmers and people that work hard, and yet the man you support has none of these things. That's just one of my points. That's why I just don't respect the man. I could talk politics with Republicans, and I could agree with them on some things, but the man Donald Trump, I have no respect for, and I just can't. I never will, and I'll never vote for him. I don't have any respect for him. I don't think he's very intelligent, and that's not a crime, but he doesn't admit his faults, his mistakes, and work to improve himself at all. He already thinks of himself in such a high manner. And these things these are the things I disagree with. And when I see Trump supporters, I just don't understand. I assume that Trump supporters must have the same personality traits. I don't see how they could get past these things unless they were similar to Donald Trump. And that's why I lose support. I lose respect for Trump supporters. I don't understand how, whenever anybody comes up to me and says they're a Trump supporter, the first thing that goes through my head is the thing mocking the reporter. And I'm like, this person's okay with that. This person is okay with making fun of a person born with birth defects in an auditorium full of people. And most Trump supporters will say, oh no, what? They'll pretend they don't remember it. And then they'll be like, oh no, that wasn't cool. I don't go along with that. But that's not, that doesn't cut it for me. You're making excuses. You're turning a blind eye to something that just can't be overlooked. All right. Like I said, I think we got a lot of things. It's amazing. We both feel so strongly, and for the same reasons, that we don't want the rest of the other people to be influenced by this nonsense. But it's funny that we both consider each other the nonsense. It's not funny, but it's a situation we find ourselves in with this hyper partisanship. All right, I got to get back to my workout. You guys have a great Friday.